Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent bringing you episode 26 of Let's Play Spellforce 3 Reforced. The LP is, of course, blind, so hope you guys are doing well out there. I have some coffee, some Powerade / Gatorade, whichever one of them wants to sponsor me. I have it. I'm drinking it. I have both of them. And we're going to load 25 and get into it. I have a full cup of coffee I'm going to be sipping, so if you don't mind me sipping, that's going to be happening. Delicious. I'm going to be smoking, and I'm going to be playing the game. We're here in Mullendeer, our home base, and we've got some talking and stuff to do to people, so let's come over here. I just upgraded my armor. We have 3 level ups to do. Let's go ahead and talk to Iskrim.
I'll take a look.
Made yourself comfortable?
Comfortable? Believe me, being comfortable is the last thing on my mind right now. Just look at this place. A Shaper city. Don't you feel it too? This sense of divinity?
I do.
I do. It's beautiful.
Indeed it is. Tahar, I'm not sure if you understand how much this means to me. The forgotten city of Mullendeer, the heritage of the Shapers. Since my childhood days, I've dreamed of this. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, thank you. You and the Harbinger have made this dream come true.
We did this together.
Well, all we did was save you from the orcs. You were the one who found the entrance.
You make it sound as if saving me from those greenskins was an easy feat. It wasn't. Anything else I can help you with? If not, I'd like to take another look at that rune Lekane gave us. It's at least as amazing as this place. Tahar, may I help you with something?
Okay. What is it that fascinates you? What do you think of the Harbinger?
What are your thoughts on the Harbinger, Rondar Lekane?
Well, he's my employer. Without him, I wouldn't be on this mission. Or, what do you mean?
I was trying to say, how do you feel about what he stands for? The purity of light, Aenir's return.
Oh, that. I'm not certain I have an opinion on these matters.
Don't you care for who you're working for?
Don't you care who you're working for?
Truth be told, not that much. Making a living as an archaeologist is hard enough as it is. I can't afford to be picky. And in all honesty, aren't Lekane and his fellows just more of the same? There have always been cults who weren't happy with the Guardians and believed they had found the true and only God. There was even that one who believed in a sort of schizophrenic God, who was both the trinity of 3 different beings and the singular omnipotent God at the same time. However that's supposed to work. Sounds funny when you think about it, but those lads were dead serious.
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
No, I guess not, but he doesn't need to know about that, does he?
You don't believe in Aenir's return, then?
So, you don't believe in Aenir's return? In the new world?
No, I don't.
But there's truth to what the Purity claims. The Guardians have been unusually silent.
Yeah, because maybe they finally realized how silly and ungrateful most of their creations are and decided not to bother anymore. What I'm trying to say is, there could be all kinds of reasons why they've withdrawn. And I doubt a bonkers robe-wearing lad such as Lekane knows the answer.
So you think the Purity is harmless?
So you think the Purity is harmless?
Of course they are. And like any other fanatic, he and his fellows will go down once people realize his God doesn't have all the answers.
Lekane is different. The Purity is powerful. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Iskrim, but Lekane is different. The Purity is more influential than any other of these cults that came and went.
Oh, now you're blowing this out of proportion. It's not that bad.
If dozens of mages being murdered and branded doesn't qualify as bad, then no, I'm not.
Fair enough. Maybe you have a point. But I don't see how it changes anything about our mission. Lekane didn't hire us to kill people, but to save them. And I consider that a respectable goal.
For sure. Where did you meet Lekane?
There's something I've been wondering about. How did your cooperation with the Harbinger begin?
Well, that was simple. I was in Everlight at the time, on request of a nobleman. He'd hired me to do some work on an artifact collection of his. One night, a courier contacted me and gave me a letter. The message outlined the mission and the pay, even though the latter was almost irrelevant to me once I realized what it was that Lacane wanted me to find.
Molandir.
Yeah, you know the rest of the story.
So you're really an archaeologist?
How does one make a living as an archaeologist?
Good question. One I usually prefer not to think or talk about. To be honest, it's a tough life. For some obscure reason, only very few scholars take interest in the Shaper or the Hibernian culture, even though there is so much to be found. It's a shame.
What is there to be found?
Like what? What is there to be found?
What? You mean apart from monumental steel constructs, ghost warriors, and a city full of ancient secrets to be discovered? A lot. But that's another topic.
How do you explain that lack of interest?
How do you explain that lack of interest?
Well, what do you think? Ignorance. No matter if it's orcs, elves, dwarves, or humans. We're all terribly bad at learning from the past.
True.
Blasted, there's so much to be found, so much to be explored. Not just riches, but the technology, wisdom, and ancient secrets. But no,
Indeed.
For some reason, the people with the coin just don't care. The only ones who even try to access this treasure are incompetent amateur treasure hunters, who usually get their heads chopped off by the first defense mechanism they walk into.
True. It's a pity.
True. It's a pity.
Well, I suppose that answers your question. The life of an archaeologist is hard, and there have been times where I questioned if all the sacrifices I've made were worth it. Yet, here I am now.
How does a dwarf end up in Nortander?
I've been meaning to ask you, how does a dwarf end up so far from the Windwall Mountains?
Let's not talk about this now, shall we? Maybe later.
All right, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No sweat, Tahar. It's fine.
Found out anything new about the rune?
Found out anything new about the rune?
Well, nothing major, but still.
Yes.
I think that with the way we're using the rune right now, we're basically only scratching the surface.
Wow.
There's so much more it can do. Just think of the Ghost Watchers. What drives me mad, though, is that I just can't seem to figure out the details. It's like holding Nihal's hammer in your hands and not knowing how to use it.
I see.
What is it that fascinates you about the Shapers?
What exactly is it that fascinates you about the Shapers?
Oh, Tahar, that's quite a topic. I don't mind sharing, but you sure go there.
I am. Tell me.
I am. Tell me.
All right. Well, where do I start? You see, the Shapers have always fascinated me. They're all over Io. These remnants of a once so glorious civilization. Yet for some reason, so many people are almost oblivious to it. On the one hand, of course, that's very sad. On the other hand, it also makes it a lot more exciting.
Indeed.
It's like I'm a treasure hunter, only that everyone else fails to see the treasures around us.
Oh my gosh. It's so true.
Seeing all of this, don't you sometimes feel like you're exploring a childhood dream?
Yes, I do.
The kind of world the poets and the bards always spoke of?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Sometimes, yes. It's dark, but also fascinating.
Absolutely. But this
Yes.
childish fascination was only the spark. The more I studied the Shapers, the more enthralled I became with their culture. Did you know that at the pinnacle of their existence, they ruled over all of Io?
Wow.
A global empire with no one to oppose them.
You seem to consider that a good thing.
Oh, good, bad, the world doesn't work like that. Of course, there are writings that hint at the fact that the Shaper Empire wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, but still it was stable. And it persisted for tens of thousands of years. Can you imagine? All this knowledge, all this art, all this wisdom. Nothing in the Io of today can match that. Nothing. It's like comparing a sea full of secrets with a puddle of muddy water.
How did their empire come to be?
And how exactly did their empire come to be? They must have conquered quite a few nations.
They had the liberty of being the first living civilization on our Io, at least as far as we know. That made it easier to maintain peace and stability. Until the end and the dragons.
Didn't the Shapers use slaves?
My father always told me the Shaper Empire relied a lot on slaves.
What? No, that's rubbish. The Shapers had castes, yes, and it's probably the lower caste your father was referring to. But to call these slaves is like calling, say, a tanner who was born outside a royal family a slave, just because he'll never be a king. And even the very lowest caste, the Zalanyur, always had enough to eat, a roof over their heads, and could, without paying a single coin, get themselves healed by a cleric if they needed to. So if you think that's unjust, go ahead. Ask an Everlight beggar which era he'd rather live in. He's not a slave, yes, but in some ways he's worse off.
Interesting. This is cool. How do you know all this?
How do you know all this?
Some of it from writings, some of it's just connecting the dots. I know how many scholars are out there at the universities giving their talks about the inscrutable empire, but it's not nearly as inscrutable as they say. Their problem is they're trying to understand the Shapers by reading books and dusty tablets. That's not how it works. You need to get out there, into the field. And even if it takes years of fruitless digging, eventually you're bound to stumble onto something. Another piece of the mosaic.
Very poetic.
Because it is.
It's true. And yet they died out.
And yet, they died out.
Yeah. Great mystery.
Most scholars think it was the dragons.
They do, but I doubt it. You saw what the Shapers were capable of. Even a race as powerful as the dragons couldn't have wiped them out. And you see the shape the city is in, Tahar. There's no traces of fire and destruction. But regardless of what it was, it doesn't change the fact that the way the current races of this world treat the Shapers is nothing short of pathetic. They were greater than we'll ever be. But instead of studying this greatness, we ignore them. And why? Just because it doesn't fit into our religion, our traditions, or whatever reason they can come up with. Because to many, admitting what a marvel the Shapers truly were would mean admitting that our culture is pale in comparison.
Wow. Is our world really that bad?
Is our world really that bad?
That depends on your expectations. We could do worse, certainly, but if this is as good as we can get, then I have nothing to feel but pity.
I agree. We could learn from the Shapers.
Maybe you're right. There's a lot we could learn from the Shapers.
There is. In any case, I suppose you found your answer, haven't you? This is what fascinates me about the Shapers. They're a reminder of what we could be, if only we wanted to.
I see. Well, thanks for the explanation, Iskrim. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's talk to him more.
Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
The armor you're wearing, is it from Windfall?
That armor you're wearing looks quite special. Is it from Windwall?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's from Windwall. I forged it myself. Why do you ask?
Well, our smiths might be able to forge you a better one. It looks quite worn.
What? No. No, that's not gonna happen.
Why not?
It means something to me.
Oh, I see.
But if it's my protection you're worried about, I can do some work on it myself. You'd have to cover the expenses, though. I'm a bit short on material these days.
Fair enough. I'll let you know if I have some resources to spare.
I found some materials. Could you use these to update your armor?
I found some materials. Could you use these to upgrade your armor?
Yeah, wait. What's that? Nihal's hammer. This is amazing. No, more than that. This is phenomenal.
I don't follow. What's so special about this thing?
This thing, as you call it, is part of an artifact. One that the scholars have been writing about for centuries. It might be possible to reconstruct them, and that... I can't even begin to imagine what that would entail.
Wow. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Alright, let's go talk to the smithy. About this Windwall armor. Wow. I had someone today tell me that they quit after 5 hours of this game because there was no RPG elements in it. And I'm like, cool story, bro. Like, no. There's tons of RPG elements in it. Alright, what is this pointing to? That's the war table, right? Check out the smithy for craftable armors. Check out the smithy for craftable equipment. You?
Yes?
Let me take a look at your designs.
Of course. Take all the time you need.
Want to trade?
don't think you have anything.
Good choice.
I guess let's check this out.
Would you look at that?
Crafting. On your travels, you'll find different parts of armor and weapons that can be forged into unique equipment at the smithy in Molendir. Oh my gosh. Interact with the smithy to open the crafting window. Select a recipe for a piece of equipment on the right side. If you have all the required parts in your inventory, craft to create the equipment. Oh my gosh. Master of Life and Death. We need Hill and Blade. Oh my gosh. Guardian's Grace. Bottom plate, padding, and top plate. Don't we have one of them? Oh, we have the Pride of Nortander. Wow, so we've got to get a ton more parts to make this stuff. This is crazy. Well-made windfall armor. We just need the dwarven outer plating. Nifty. That is cool. So you're done, Iskrim?
Sahar, may I help you with something?
Okay, goodbye. Alright, how about area?
Corporal? Need anything?
Show me a bit about your homeland.
Could you tell me a bit more about your homeland? Finn and Mir?
Well, it's not my homeland anymore, but yeah, shoot.
What role does magic play in Finn and Mir?
What role does magic play among elves?
It's everywhere. Magic is considered a gift of Ellen, and it defines your standing in every possible way. We may have talked about that already, but the whole council who runs the country is made up of mages, which is why the Purity will have a hard time finding followers in Finn and Mir, should they ever be naive enough to try.
I doubt that will ever happen.
Right. How is human culture different from elven culture?
How is human culture different from elven culture?
I assume you mean Nortander from Finn and Mir? There isn't one elven culture, as little as there's just the humans. Generally spoken, though, I wouldn't say they're too different. Especially not compared to the orcs. Life is a lot slower, mainly due to our lifespan, and elves are even more defined by tradition than humans. They revere nature and value tradition and rules above all else, and they are extremely aware of what they say, how they say it, and to whom. Which also makes it very easy to offend an elf. I'm an exception in that regard, but that was something my vagrant years taught me. But then again,
Interesting.
Not all elves are like that. There are some who care as little about Ellen the White Tree and the traditions as a troll cares about his morning toilet.
How is it? What's it like to live for so long?
Elves have a very long lifespan. What's it like to live for so long?
Hard to say, since I don't know what a human body feels like. As an elf, you simply take it for granted. When I first realized how short a human life is during my travels, I was baffled. I've been on this world for 39 years now, and in the elven world, I'm hardly considered an adult. Here, I'd have delivered my 7th child by now. It's strange. That's the best way to describe it. But you know what I eventually came to realize?
Tell me.
That age doesn't necessarily make you wiser. I've talked to 30-year-old humans who understood more of the world than the ancient seers of Finn and Mir. It's all about experiences.
Let me ask you something else.
Interesting. There was something else I wanted to ask.
Sure. What?
Why did you join me?
This might sound odd, but why did you join me? It was me the Harbinger wanted.
Why are you asking? If you want me to leave, you can just say it. No hard feelings.
No, I just want to understand. You've been putting yourself in a lot of danger for our cause.
I guess so. Well, I hate to disappoint, but I don't think there's a particular reason. As you pointed out in the prison, I'm a fugitive as much as you are, and my best chance of survival was sticking with you.
Tell me about your time on the road.
Tell me a bit about your time on the road. What was it like?
Is that a command, Corporal?
Please?
Please?
All right, but I'm afraid there isn't so much to tell. Have you ever been on the road by yourself?
A long time ago, yes. I don't know how to answer this. No.
No.
Well, then you probably don't know how wearisome it can get. Sleeping under the stars sounds romantic at first, until you realize that most of the time it's sleeping in the mud, in drizzle. Most of the time, your stomach and your purse are empty, and your feet are full of blisters. And, of course, there's the constant danger. especially if you're traveling on your own.
Did you ever have a companion?
Did you ever have a companion?
Some, yeah, but most of it was just temporary. Though there was one I traveled with for longer. Quentin.
How did you meet?
Coincidence. A small town between Finn and Mir and Lar. We played dice together and he cheated. When I called him out on it, he tried to turn tail. But one of the other guests stopped him for me. They wanted to go give him a beating, but I told them to stop. He gave me back my money and we started talking. And, believe it or not, we found that we got along quite well.
So you started traveling together with a thief?
I wouldn't call him that. He was just young and careless. We ended up traveling for almost a year.
What was his story?
What was his story? Where was he headed?
Into the blue, same as me. He had quite an interesting task, but I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing it with you, to be honest. He wouldn't want that.
I see. What was your relationship?
I see. What was your relationship?
You mean... no, we were just friends. He was way too young for my liking, and I think I was too old for him. We were more like sister and brother.
How did you split up?
Huh. So, how did you split up? What happened?
Nothing dramatic. We came by a village and decided to rest there for a while. The roads had become quite dangerous due to the mage wars, and we didn't want to go out unprepared. I did some healing for the villagers, and he helped out the local smith. He liked it, and the smith wanted him as an apprentice, so he stayed. I was surprised and a bit hurt at first, but then I realized it was probably for the better. I still think of him sometimes, though.
Aw. How did you make a living?
Huh. And how did you make a living?
That was the easiest part. I healed people.
With light magic?
Yes and no. It was my magic that mended the wounds, but since mages are often met with suspicion, how shall I say, got a little creative. Frankly put, whenever I treated someone, I gave him a magical potion to drink, which was just water mixed with some harmless herb to give it color. The rest was laying on hands to help the potion's effect, which was pure light magic and how I did the actual healing.
And that worked?
Better than you'd think. People were fighting over my panacea as if I was Ellen incarnate, while cursing the evil defilers who had caused this war. Ironic, isn't it?
Do you miss it sometimes?
Do you miss it sometimes? The vagabond life?
Well, we're still vagabonds somehow, aren't we? But I know what you mean. And yeah, I sometimes do. The wind on my skin, the vastness of the wildlands, and the fact that all you have to think about is the mile ahead of you. It's another world. There was this one night I'll never forget. I had made a camp at a clearing, set up campfire, and I was leaning against a tree, slowly drifting toward sleep. Then, all of a sudden, it started to rain. Not just the usual drizzle, it was bucketing down, drowning everything, the earth, the noise, the plants around me. My first impulse was to jump up, to find shelter, get my things into the dry. But I didn't. Instead, I saw. I don't know how else to put it. All of a sudden, there was this deep sense of peace.
Aw.
As if all my life I had been chasing something without knowing it myself. And in that moment had found it.
Yes.
So I just watched.
Wow.
I sat there and I watched. That feeling lasted until the sun came up. And then I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was gone.
That sounds beautiful.
That sounds beautiful.
And a bit dramatic. But yeah, it was beautiful. I've never felt something like that again.
And what do you make of it now?
And what do you make of it now?
Truth be told, I don't know. But it changed something. Even though I cannot say what it is.
Huh.
Corporal? Need anything?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Rowan. Time for you.
Oh, Tahar. What is it?
I'll be off.
I'll be off.
Okay, so we still have the favor quest. Con 3. Con 5, all ability cost minus 15, plus 7.5 health per second. Queen's Guard Plate, immune to afflictions with focus reduced to 0. My con is 4. If I get one more, I could wear all ability costs minus 15% or immune to interrupt. Immune to silence, immune to purge, immune to knockback. But it's light armor. This would be an upgrade for me, but it costs a con point. And then it just gets... They're pretty much worth all the same, or I could take 4,500 gold. They say it takes one to hunt one. The armaments of those hunting men and beasts gifted by the supernatural and a declared danger to someone who wants them dead. Immune to interruptions, so when he does stuff, it won't get interrupted. He can't be silenced, he can't be purged, and he can't be knocked back. Sure. Plus it looks cool. Where is it? Boom. Alright, looking good. I like that. And he's got the purging trinket. Area, could you use the split armor? No, you need con 4, but you have an attribute point. This would greatly raise your defense. But lose all that light and nature magic ability. You have the 90% empowered helmet. So she's going to keep the robe on and the bow. She's fine. Iskrim can't really put anything on. And he's got the weasel trinket, right? A note provided by Iskrim listing the materials he needs to reinforce his armor. He told you to come by once you'd found the materials acquired by the schematic. Well-made windwall armor, dwarven armor outer plating. Reinforced windwall armor, dwarven plate mail. Reinforced adamantium, reinforced dwarven shoulder pads. Mastercrafted, dwarven skull padding. Moon silver, dwarven inner armor plating. Empyrean leather shoulder pads. Interesting. Let's go ahead and sort. Oh, what is that? Inferior black robes. Okay. And he's got, of course, Kargoth's shield. You could use another ring and an amulet and possibly... No, he's got good armor. Possibly a new weapon. And shield. Let's see what we can buy.
Yes?
Let me take a look at your designs.
Of course.
Oh, wait.
Take all the time you need.
You've got the designs. I don't want that.
Swords, everything for the wary traveler.
Was it you?
I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarers.
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
I wonder if I buy something here if it goes to the Wayfarers instead of us. It's got armor, but what about helmets? Oh, he's got the 50 health helmet. That one's just flat out better. So I think I'll buy the Revitalizing Valsgard helmet. I don't have much money left though, so maybe not. Let's go see who's got shields and, well, shields. There's merchants down here, I think.
Sure.
One of them had shields.
Let me see.
He might not have the strength though. I don't think I gave him much strength.
What can I do for you today?
Let me see what you have in stock.
I had hoped as much. What do you need?
Okay.
Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords.
He's got the light shield. And for that he needs strength.
A fair offer.
He has no strength. I guess we're going to use dexterity with him as well. I'm actually tempted to go another point of constitution. And go ahead and get him in some Mentor's plate mail, actually. kind of make him a thoroughly padded battle mage. And that opened up the plate mail helmet. But that did open up this. So let's go ahead and put on the Mentor's plate mail. Very nice. Looking good. Of course, we've got the empowerment and the proficiency potion still. He could use a ring and an amulet. Let's check his abilities that we want to invest in. Wrath of the Elements. This stuff is all on here, right? We can only use two bars, and you've got a lot. You've got chain lightning we have to get up there. You've got fire nova you got to put up there. Go ahead and take off the scrolls of resistance and put on Wrath of the Elements. And we've got Scroll of the Berserker. Let's go ahead and take that off. Or let's go ahead and put something there. Shoot, he's got a lot. Hailstorm. Chain Lightning, and then Wrath of the Elements has to be up there. Oh, it is. Ice Aura isn't, though. Or Ice Coating. Fire Spark. Let's go ahead and remove the focus potions. And put, how about his blessing there? Or focus potion. Take health potion off too, and give him we were going for this, or Scorn of the Earth. Summon an earthquake, I think, or ice abilities cost less to cast. Might go for Cryomancy. Because he's got all this ice stuff. And not a lot of focus to cast it all. So let's go Cryomancy. And I still want to put ice coating up here. Scroll of Revitalization for ice coating. Frost Shell we just leave out, I guess. Supply. Then we go to Isgrim. Taunt. The point of Fate, which would increase damage against weakens while reducing your cooldowns. So it reduces cooldowns of abilities by 1 second. Adjust all ability cooldowns by -1 second. Shield Bash, damage and stun the enemy. Sword and Board. focus regen. Call to arms, apply armor to yourself. Holy shield. Health potions are more effective. More cry. Let's go sword and board. As long as you're using a shield, increase your block chance and piercing resist. 4% block chance, 4% resist. We'll head down to this direction. And for his points, intelligence, willpower, constitution. Let's get a point of strength. And can he use any new weapons because of that point of strength? He can use the unerring great mace. We just got him sword and board. Was that a mistake? Possibly. Kargoth's axe is one more point of strength, and it's not really better than what we're using. I want to say I did the right thing. We can use a mentor's heavy shield, but... Oh, I guess he could probably use...
What can I do for you today?
Let me see what you have in
I had hoped as much.
He could use the,
Come take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest.
Strength 7. Strength 7. Norcane's Grief. Epic. Wow. Enchanted by the sorcerer Nazshar, everyone who dares touch this shield will be struck by a powerful curse. Originally meant only to curse the foes of the Norcane, the curse developed an independent existence, enfeebled, impaired, and weakened for 10 seconds. Wow. So that would be his upgrade, but he does not have the strength to wield it.
Pleasure doing business with you.
However,
Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
If I were to give him a potion of empowerment and raise his strength 1, he could potentially use that. That is, I think... Let's go look at it again.
What can I do for you today?
Let me see what you have.
I had hoped as much. What do you need?
That would seem like the upgrade I'd like to make. Enfeebled, minus 76% attack damage, 95% move speed, 95 resist just for touching it. Oh, after blocking an attack. Block chance 25%. That's amazing. But I think it'd be better to outfit Rowan with rings and an amulet.
Corporal, I've found some new treasures. You might want to take a look at them. What you need.
So we should go ahead and give Rowan plus 10 focus. And I guess we can sell some of this. Maybe not. I'm still weary about selling it. Plate helmet can be sold. Nasal helmet of focus. We're debating. Oh, he can wear that. Oh, but plus 50 health. That's con 7. Let's go ahead and apply that. And
may Tiara bless your path.
Throw in the ring. We have a pretty diverse cast of characters here. We still have to level up Iria. Clarity, regenerate your focus temporarily. All positive stat effects also regenerate your health and focus. Purging shot 2. Apply silence for 10 seconds. Immune to positive status effects. Oh, she learned that already. Purging shot 2. Ellen's champion. Arrow of light is a nice one. Impaired for 10 seconds. Might be time to go ahead and get Deadeye. Permanently increase your attack damage and sight range. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Deadeye. If target is 100% health, deal 1144 weapon damage. Wow. Yeah, let's go ahead and apply that. And put Deadeye. Oh, jeez. All very important skills. Apply silence. She can apply silence with her purging shot. So let's put that there. Alright, we are decked to the nines, my friends. Let's see how long we've been playing. 40 minutes, so I've got to save here. But next time, we are pretty much free to go where we want. Oh wait, there's something up here. Discuss your next steps at the war table. I don't really want to advance the main quest. I still have side quests to do. Like meet with Gore, travel to Leash Shade Jungle to seek help from the Moorhere Elves, find all the ingredients. Find materials to upgrade his armor and craft all artifact items, all 11. Wow. Legendary artifacts. So, hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll join me for more. There's much more to come because I'm having an absolute blast with this game. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it and appreciate you. Much love, peace, and joy to you guys. Take care, and see you in the next one. Let me go ahead and save. And let's have more fun. We'll head out somewhere next time. We'll head to the Goblin King, give him his goblin meat, and then see where the wind takes us. So, see you guys then, hopefully. Bye-bye.